Okay, welcome to the year 2025. A happy new year to you, wherever it is that you may be having the opportunity and the privilege to watch this video from. And today, I just thought to share with us what would be the best way to approach this new year. The new year comes with a lot of potential, but having to convert the potentials of the year into reality of experience and outcome is not largely based on resolutions. There is a traditional way of looking or approaching the potentials of a new year with resolutions, coming back to the table to say, this is what I want to do, and all that. Is that really enough? There are quite a number of people who have a lot of potentials that have remained unconverted over the years. What's going to be the fate of those people in the new year? I'm sure a lot of people are returning back from what they call the dirty December. But if you're returning back from dirty December, I want you to understand that dirty December always has dirty December tax in January. But then if you're not coming back from a dirty December, then probably you're coming back from a proactive December, right? Because like one of my friends would say, January is not for planning. So what if all that the entirety of your dream is waiting for is not a resolution, not a new year resolution? And the fact that you have been afraid all the while to start the things that you are capable of starting and imprisoning your potentials all along has kept you at the critical stage. My name is Julius Afalabi, and I am an entrepreneur who is specialized in helping growth focused entrepreneur business owners, coaches, and consultants, managers, and leaders design their own economy so that they can live life on their own terms. So, it is true that the Creator said in the beginning, which is the book of Genesis, the book of the beginnings, right? The beginning of the beginning, just like the year is beginning, that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So if we are, mankind is created after God kind, right? Mankind is a God kind, right? So that means we should follow the God model, right? By creating our own heaven first, right? So if you're waiting for someone to create your heaven for you, you are going to practically live a miserable life. And you see, whether you like it or yes, having um gone through business, paid employment, investments, collaborations, I can say with you, or I can say to you with confidence, that everybody listening to me right now is operating at one of the four categories I'm about to mention. You're either at a critical stage in your life, or you are either at a not so critical stage, and then you are just also either at the average stage, or you are living in your ideal stage. It's either critical, not so critical, or average, or your ideal. When it is critical, it simply means you are living far below what is required for you to even survive, right? That is critical. If, for instance, in the Nigeria of today, all that is required for you to live life on your own terms and probably live in a place that is suitable and comfortable for you, you would say, okay, this is good. You would need minimum of 5 million naira income per month. How about that? That's minimum, given the current constant rise in the cost of living and the low compensation coming from paid jobs and the rest of them. So you need a minimum of what? 5 million naira to be able to say you are in a good place, right? That's an average, right? Average, right? So if you're earning 500,000, you are at a critical stage because you would probably be living in survival, less than survival mode, right? You are going to be living in a miserable and reactive what? A reactive life, right? So, and then you could also be in the, let's say you're earning 1.5 million. It's bad, but it's not so bad because you could still afford to do some things for yourself at that particular level. But then let's say you're earning between 3 to 5 million naira per month, then you are averagely okay. You can afford what you want. You are not afraid when things happen. But again, you can't plan for big things. But if you're earning above 5 million, in excess of 5 million, you're comfortable to deal with certain things, at least at your pace, right? You can plan a project with earning above 5 million naira. You can plan a project and then you can also have some investments like that. You can easily do a lot of things for yourself. And that should be the ideal where you have stress-free abundance at your beck and call. And that's the only reason why designing your own economy, which is creating your own heaven, right? Creating, designing, determining your own box is the ideal, right? Is what the ideal. So why am I able to say this to you? Many years back, I think about 13 years ago, I lost my prestigious banking job, right? And when I lost this job, my appraisal was at peak and had just had my new baby who was just 10 days old. I had no debt as at that particular time. But then diving into the business world was a big question I'd left unanswered. So I needed to what design my own economy. The reason why I had no so much panic, right? I was not really in a miserable or a bad state was simply because I leaned into the transformation I had engineered years back in secondary school. In my secondary school years back, I was a science student, but then I was commercially smart but interested in science. Sometimes what we need is not what we want, and what we want is not what we need. So it's important to be able to discern between affordability and necessity. So because I thought I could afford sciences, but that was not what I need. I was not working in alignment with my core resourcefulness, right? I was leaning on my potential instead of what focusing on my reality, right? My reality was that business class, the commercial class, was my ideal place. But I was interested in sciences because of how lofty science class has been spoken about. But guess what? Because of that unfit and misalignment, that unfit collaboration, or that unfit match between my person, my capacity, and what is required for me to have a stress-free, approach to clearing my WAEC the way I wanted it. What happened was that chemistry became a nightmare for me. My highest score in chemistry was about 46, thereabout, which was not a good score at all. So until I got to SS3, that's the final year, in January like this, and then it was May June, right? So in 6 months' time, we were going to write the May June exam, which was the deciding exam that moved us from the secondary school level to the tertiary institution where our dream can continue to go on, right? So I had 6 months to be able to take care of whatever it is that was my challenge. So, and that was where I made the tough decision. Now, my parents were not so enlightened to be able to support what my decision or understand what my predicaments were. So I had to take responsibility. I had to own my journey. I had to take responsibility for the kind of future that I wanted for myself. So what did I do? I had to see the teachers, the coordinators responsible for that migration. And the condition was that I had to write a letter of undertaking that I will score above 60% in the two new subjects I was migrating into. So you see, switching from an employee to become a business person will require certain underlying conditions, right? There are prerequisites that you must master in order to be able to switch over with confidence, certainty, and clarity. So this is where the rubber meets the road. So what did I do? I designed what? A strategy in which I could win. After writing the undertaking that I would do that, I immediately found out the best students in those two subjects. accounting, and commerce. Commerce was something I could read on my own and figure out. But accounting was so technical and demanding that it's not something that I can just figure out on my own in 6 months over 3 years of learning. They have done 3 years of learning already, or 2.5 years of learning already. And how do I want to cover that in 6 months myself? So I had to look for someone who was a friend who was very good in accounting. And after school on a daily basis, I would spend 2 extra hours with him to put me through. So sometimes we will need the services of coaches and mentors in order to design our own economy. They help us diagnose what our capacity and capabilities are in order to be able to pursue our dream, the kind of life that we want. So, that said, I enrolled in that coaching session, 2 hour coaching session on a daily basis for 6 months. And guess what? I came out with flying colors in those subjects, even did better than those that started the commercial class in SS1, right? So you have that opportunity, the potential to do better than those who have been doing it before is with you. It only takes a decision, a commitment, and the willingness to undertake the transformational journey intentionally. Right. So, what would earning extra 5 million naira per month do for your living standard or for your dream? What would that do for your dream? And what must you do? Remember, I was in a bad place. I lost my job. I had a 10-day-old baby, which was my second kid. I don't have any business experience, even though I was on a recipe of personal development. Now, that is not enough, right? The knowledge that I had about business was not enough, like being in the business ecosystem to really understand what exactly the business ecosystem demanded. So there was the absolute need for you to design and to design my own economy. So that's the same thing I would open up to you today, that you need to design your own economy if you want to live life on your own time. What exactly does it mean to design your own economy? And that is the reason why the Execution Advantage Workshop has been created for you. The Execution Advantage Workshop is designed to help you to be able to have clarity of your priority and then have certainty of the strategies that would produce that priority for you. At the same time, have or help you to be able to pursue that dream or that outcome or that result in a predictable way. So we are looking at having clarity with the use of tools. You know very well that in the Chinese world, the sensei, before he becomes a master, would naturally take him about 8 to 10 years. But research and study and new development in technology has given us a leverage such that with AI tools and smart tools and strategies and proactive insights, you can achieve in months what it took others to achieve in years. So the decision is up to you. And those who have gone through the Executive Advantage workshop have testified. One of our participants in the workshop, who was a teacher who was indebted, and after going through this workshop, could develop and design our own classes that now pays her in 6 figures. Then, secondly, was um, Omotayo Benga, who was a former employee in an hotel who had understood the rudiments of the hotel and identified what the pains of hotel are, began a hotel managers conference, and after going through this workshop, was able to stabilize the hotel managers conference, move it from just local into an African wide conference with a hotel management academy that produces 6 to 7 figures monthly for him. So you see, it does not matter what the budget is, the budget allocations are. He has identified a particular problem, created a product that serves as a confident solution for those who use them. and he can earn money and expand his income and live his life on his own terms. So he's gone further now into we are working on in the mastermind class, working on scaling it into that level. And thirdly, was an organization who had a facility that was being underutilized. And after diagnosis of the potential and the market around that particular facility, were able to create 15 extra income streams that brought them from that a zero income per month level to a seven-figure income level. So this could also be you. All that is required is for you to be a member, a partaker, or a participant in the execution advantage workshop. This is necessarily for you. Is the best gift you could give to yourself in a new year. Remember, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So you can create, it's your turn to create your own heaven. Would you allow the year to design your future, or will you design the future that is ideal for you? A new year resolution is not the solution. A new you is the solution because you cannot put a new wine in an old wine skin. You lose both the wine and the old and the skin, right? So you are the wine. The year is the wine skin. So you have to become new and in order to make the year new. Resolutions are not enough. Transformation is the ideal. So it's up to you. Let me know if you have questions. You find a link around this video where you can enlist and enroll for the Execution Advantage workshop. So I'll see you in class and God bless you.